All right, today we're going to talk about how to recover from a major injury. And for me, it was an ankle injury. So I broke my ankle about a year and a half ago, but I completely recovered and I became a way better player and an athlete after it, and honestly, because of it. So I know lots of players go through horrible injuries that happen on the field, ACLs, breaking bones, stuff like that, that really hurts their career and can set them back. But honestly, I think it's a choice. It's a mental choice, and it takes mental toughness to come back from a major injury and to be successful. So, first, I just want to talk about my story about what happened, how I ended up getting hurt, and just kind of the process of what happened. So, it was in 2021 during my college season. We were playing one of our conference teams. It was a beautiful Saturday morning in Lake Forest, and we kicked off. It was like 5-7 minutes into the game. We were just kind of getting into the groove of things, and I got a pass from one of my teammates. I received it. I opened up. I was in like the middle of the field, and I saw a defender running toward me. So I decided I was going to take a touch forward, so I kind of get my body in front of him so he couldn't take the ball from me. So I open up. The kid's sprinting at me. I wait a second for him to get close, and I take my touch, and he clipped my ankle, and then I fell down. And so I'm actually going to show you guys the video right now. So you guys just saw the video. So I'm rolling around in a ton of pain. Our athletic trainer comes out, and I'm like devastated on the field because I knew something was terribly wrong. And I asked her, I was like, is my season over? And she was like, yeah. And immediately just like the emotions came out, I just started crying. And first I was in a lot of pain, but also because, I'd worked so hard to get ready for that season. And we were like in the middle of our conference part of our season, and we had some big games, including the one that we were currently playing coming up. And so it was just really devastating for me, right? So I go to the hospital, go into a room or whatever, and then get x-rays. And I was in like a ton of pain too, so I really needed just some pain meds just to like, so I could chill out, because I was just in pain and I was like crying for hours, honestly, because it just hurt a lot. So the doctor comes in and he's like, yo, you have a broken fibula, but it should only be about 6 weeks to 2 months until you're back, like, playing. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that's not horrible for how bad I thought and how bad it hurt. And so that was Saturday. So I'm on absolutely no walking, no nothing. I'm on crutches. My foot's in a splint. So I'm going to throw some pictures up during this video, too, of like me just kind of going through the entire process. So they and my athletic trainer wanted me to meet with an ankle specialist a few days later. So I'm at school, and then so it happened on Saturday, and then next Wednesday I go to the ankle specialist. And this was the first time that since I had broken it that they had taken the splint off. So once they took the splint off and I looked at my ankle, which I'll show you guys the pictures, like it's pretty gross. Like, it was so messed up. I mean, it was bruised. The ankle was huge, and I was like started to tear up, because I was like, how am this is gonna get fixed? Like, how? It looked so bad, right? So the doctor does x-rays, and he comes back in, and he's like, at the ankle specialist, he's like, yeah, so you have a broken fibula, but your ankle is broken. It's like displaced. It was knocked out of place like 4 centimeters. And he was like, you need to have surgery, and it's probably going to be a 4 to 5 month recovery. And I was just shocked. I was like, what? I mean, because that's not what they told me at the hospital. And so, yeah, a lot of emotions going through, because it just kind of like, it was supposed to be this, but then it ended up being worse, and I had to have surgery, and I've never had surgery before. And so I was like freaking out. And so I actually ended up having surgery the next morning, like super early. So I had surgery, and then so the recovery process starts, right? So this is the timeline that I was given to return. So I'm on no pressure on my foot for a month. So that means my foot's in a boot the entire time. No walking. I'm on crutches or I'm on a scooter. So I mainly use a scooter, where I don't know if you guys have seen what the scooter is, but you basically just put your broken or your foot or leg that's injured on the scooter, and you use your good leg to just like push around. So you hold it, your legs kind of like flat on it like that. So that's how I got around for a month, right? And so I had surgery, and then I got back to school like 4 or 5 days later, and then it was just kind of like, all right, it's time to move on and kind of start the recovery process. But I really couldn't do rehab until I got the boot off, so that was not going to be for another 2 months. And so during this time, I mean, honestly, I mean, it was hard for me, right? Because soccer and just fitness, the gym in general, is such a huge part of my identity, and that was just taken away from me in an instant, and something that I really couldn't control. And so, I mean, I was going through tough times. I was doing stuff that wasn't great. I mean, I'm not going to say I was depressed at all, but I mean, I was just in a bad place, and I think people could see it. And I mean, I could tell. I just waking up, and I just like, my life kind of sucks right now because I can't walk. I'm in pain most of the time. I mean, for the first 2 or 3 weeks after surgery, I couldn't even put my foot on the ground. Like, if I had to sit in class, I'd have to sit and put my leg up like this on a chair or something, because I couldn't put it below a certain like degree. Otherwise, because of the stitches or whatever, like all the blood or something just rushed to my foot, my ankle, and then it was just in a bunch of pain. So I had to like keep it raised all the time. And I mean, I was just in pain. I mean, just sitting, laying in my bed, just in pain, right? So like the whole thing, I mean, it sucked, man. Like, it really sucked. But time started to pass, and it started to get better. I got my stitches out, and then after a month, I was able to start walking in the boot. So that was a huge step. I was really excited when I was able to start doing that, because being on the scooter, you're restricted to doing a lot of stuff, and yeah, it's just annoying. I mean, like, getting your own food at the cafeteria, and like, just, you really become aware of all the handicap stuff, like ramps, automatic door things, stuff that you take for granted when you walk, right? So that was a big thing, starting to become grateful for like the little things in life, like being able to walk, because I had that taken away from me from a considerable amount of time. And also just being able to play, being able to go to the gym. So now I'm super grateful for all that, because I've been in a place where I literally couldn't practically do anything. I mean, yeah, I could lift some upper body, but I mean, there was a point there where I literally couldn't put my foot like lower than, so I couldn't even like sit and put my feet on the ground without being in pain. So it's like, how am I kind of gonna do a workout then, right? So we fast forward, so we're walking the boot for a month, and then I started to be able to do rehab, started to strengthen my hip back up, because again, I mean, I basically went 5 weeks without using my entire right leg at all, because it's just like on the scooter and crutches. So started to do some rehab. So walking in the boot's going well, and then it's like middle of December, I get the boot off, so that's fantastic, right? And so I was making decisions at this time. I was like, do I want to come back and play or not? Do I even want to play again? Do I think I can play again? Do I think I can be at the same level I was at, or become better than I was? So I really was thinking a lot, and I was like, you know what? Like, I need to try. I need to give everything to this rehab and to this recovery, and just try to come back a better player, because I have another year of eligibility. So why not? Let's come back. Let's try to do it, right? So I set goals. I was like, okay, rehab, everything is super serious. You're going to do rehab when you're supposed to. You're going to do extra stuff. All you're going to be thinking about is, 1, getting this ankle back, and 2, just getting back into shape, getting back into soccer shape, getting my fitness back up, losing some body fat I put on, stuff like that, right? So I still have about 6 or 8 weeks before I'm ready to start playing again. So this is when I absolutely started slamming the rehab hard, because I was out of the boot, so I could start doing a bunch of rehab stuff, like walking and doing a bunch of ankle mobility stuff, starting to do some single leg squats and some like body weight squats and stuff like that. So for late December and all of January, I just absolutely slammed the rehab, and I was just like so motivated to come back and just start playing again, and just start working my way back up and surpassing what I was before, right? So I get cleared finally at the end of January. So start playing again. I start training again like normal, like every day. You know, we're getting our touches in because I hadn't touched the ball in 4 months, right? And I think a big thing of that was getting over the fear of getting hurt again, and also getting over the fear of like just kicking the ball, you know, because I mean in soccer obviously you use your ankle, locking your ankle a ton every time you pass, shoot the ball, dribble, whatever, right? So I had to get over the fear of like actually striking the ball hard, passing the ball hard, running, cutting, all that stuff, right? And I mean, yeah, it was tough, but mentally you just have to believe in yourself, and you just have to just do the work, just keep putting the work in. And just keep saying, like, listen, you know, it was a one-time freak accident. I've been playing soccer for almost 18 years. You know, it's I can't control it if it happens again, but it's most likely not going to happen again. So you just have to go all in, right? So then I was able to start playing again with my college team in the spring and in the winter. And then during that, you know, it's just like, okay, let's get my mind right, because I mean, yeah, I had fears of playing. When I started playing again, we were playing indoor and stuff. You know, I had fears of getting hurt. I mean, those first few sessions were rough for me because I was just thinking, I'm like, you know, I'm scared to go into a tackle because I might get hurt or something like that. But I think you just need to put yourself out there in the fire. Like, don't hold back. Just start playing. And once you get that first challenge, once you get that first kick kind of where you got hurt. So once I got kicked in the ankle one time on a tackle, I was like, you know, I'm good. You know, I'm good. It's strong. It's fine. You know, we're good. So just keep going, right? And yeah, this just kind of kept going. I mean, I've still been stressing, like, because it's definitely feels different than the other one. You can tell there's metal in there. So the surgery, I didn't really talk about that. So I got a metal plate on the side of my fibula, which has like 5 screws. So that's screwed in. And then on the front side of my ankle, so like right here, I have another screw in there, basically because it had to be like reconstructed, right? So that was the surgery. But yeah, we moved on, and then again, setting goals. So I set goals for myself for this past college season 2022 to come back, be healthy, and just be in the best shape and just best mental state as possible, right? So what happened? I started every game. I didn't miss one practice because I was hurt. Didn't miss one game. Didn't have to get subbed out in the game because I was hurt. Had absolutely no ankle problems at all, right? Everything that I wanted to do came true. Even after going through this horrible setback, right? I mean, I had never had an injury like that at all in my career. And especially for it to happen when you're 21 and, you know, you might have a college season left or not. It's like you can kind of decide. But, I mean, yeah, there were times at the beginning of this injury where I was like, you know, I think I should just quit. I think I should just, like, hang up the boots and call it, you know, a career. But that fire in me and that wanting to compete and wanting to succeed just said no. Like, it's just a setback. And how cool will it be if you can come back from this injury and lead this team to the national tournament and just have a great season for the team and individually, right? And so that was always a goal of mine. So that's kind of my story on my major ankle injury. So again, there's already going to have been pictures shown, video, and stuff like that. So now I just want to kind of give some advice to people that either have had an ankle injury or maybe an ACL or some injury that's kept them out for a long time. So yeah, at first, I mean, it's going to suck, right? And a lot of time it's uncontrollable. It happens in an instant. But it's all about your mindset. It's about your mindset and how you're going to come back from this. So you can either be like really sad and just blame other people and just be like, you know, it sucks, but I can't do anything about it. Or you can have the other mindset of, yeah, it happened. Okay. How do we recover from this? How do we come back a better player? How is this going to test me? How is it going to test you as a player? And that's the route that I took. And also just keeping that kind of fire in you to say this, like, how cool will it be if I can come back and do things that most people didn't think could happen, right? And come back and have a season or come back and have a career that 99% of people probably wouldn't have had because of this injury. They would have kept it as an excuse for their whole career. or next season or whatever, right? They would just always keep using that as an excuse. But that's something I chose not to do. And I think that's a big key in coming back and being successful from a major injury, is not using it as an excuse. Not at all. You just have to keep going, keep working, and keep believing in yourself and saying, like, yeah, listen, it happened, whatever, but, you know, it's not in my control, but I'm going to do things that I can control. I can control how much rehab I do. I can control how much I train, how I treat my body, how I get back into shape, how I'm ready for a season or whatever is upcoming for you. Stuff like that, right? And I think just the final thing I wanted to say is, yeah, there's going to be fears. You're going to have fears of playing again from having like a major injury, but I think just getting out there and just doing it, and then maybe you get that first hit, you get that first little ooh, whatever, twinge or whatever, and then you're like, okay, it's fine. You know, we're fine. Just keep going. And then you keep playing, you keep training, you just build that confidence up, and then eventually, as time goes on, you're not even going to think about it anymore. So yeah, for a couple months, I was kind of afraid-ish of maybe getting hurt again, but after playing so much, after training so much, it wasn't even a fear of mine anymore, because it's like, I can't control it. So if I'm thinking about it all the time, it's just going to make my game worse, right? But if I just go out there and just play, that's all I can do. Just play my game, right? So to wrap it up, I hope this video helps you guys. We'll definitely make some more videos dealing with these injury videos, because I have a lot of experience from it. And yes, it sucks, but I'm telling you, I did it, and you can do it too, coming back from it and just being a baller like you should. So that's going to be it for today, guys. And yeah, we will see you in the next video.